around the clock, sports all the time. That's never going to work. That's ridiculous.
Just remember to have fun out there today. And if you lose, I'll kill you.
This is Tall Can Audio.
Seriously, this thing is going to be a cultural disaster.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome inside your Monday edition of the Tall Can Audio podcast. Rob over there, Matt over here, as always, for your Monday. I can't imagine any of you thought we'd leave you hanging. We don't do that. Here we are, middle of the holiday season. I have once again run back from cottage. Is anybody buying that? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay. What's happening, man?
I'm loving it. I'm loving this virtual holiday.
Yeah, virtual. Did you work? Are you working between this year? Because there's weekends in there, like...
Zero.
Because you often do burn back in between Christmas and New Year's, much like myself, enjoying the fact that no one else has done so. And I can bank a couple of days here, use those holidays later. The weekend in the middle of it changed it this year? Or?
Yeah, I've been off since the 19th, right through till the 2nd.
Look at this fucking guy.
Well, and I have...
Feet up, World Juniors, little Spangler Cup.
I have so much leave. It's like they're paying me to stay home.
It is like that, Rob.
Yeah.
You should take a look at that.
Yeah. Well, honestly,
if you want some TCA leave, we can.
Yeah, between sick leave and annual leave, it's about 2 months.
And this, as a municipal seat warmer, this just moistener. Warmer was generous.
Yeah.
This just rolls through year over year. You can just keep banking it?
No.
Okay.
I can only roll 5 a year.
Okay.
And so I do most years. I roll 5. Now this year I'm only rolling 3.5.
Because you were a bit more of a slack ass this year than last year?
Yeah, I got shit to do.
Sure.
People want to see me.
Let's take it easy.
Only a day and a half's worth, though.
And I assume those were spread out hour by hour.
You got to take them in half-day increments because nobody wants all that concentrated.
If you missed it, make sure you go back and check out, because it'll never go bad. Our Christmas Eve special seems like it was only yesterday, man. And really, it seems like it's only 3 days from now. Yeah. And on New Year's Eve, we will have Michaela Schreider, Vanessa Sanchez, and Chris Hoffley do the Brew Marsh to wrap up the year in TCA. Plus, Rob and I have recorded a couple of other things dropping throughout the holiday season, so make sure you're subscribed wherever you're hearing us right now. This, to be honest with you, was meant to drop on New Year's Day. And that was because all these teams were supposed to have their rosters in on December 31st, but then they were going to wait and announce them on the 1st or the 2nd or whatever. So if our show came out, early on the 1st, it would still be in ahead of the announcements. And then the NHL started putting pressure on teams. How about you wait and do it on like the 4th? We got this kind of event going on. And we have seen, the Kraken expansion draft, like things leak way faster than that. Like if you have submitted your NHL All-Star team or your Canadian Olympic team or your Seattle Kraken franchise creating roster, some insider is going to get a hold of that motherfucker and have it out long before you wanted it to be public. So Elliot Friedman reported on Saturday, whatever it would have been, like 10th, 12th. Canada's just going to announce the
14th.
There you go. Going to just announce the thing on New Year's Eve, which was a real inconvenience for TCA. Nobody seemed to take that into consideration.
What?
I know. So we're just doing it here on the Monday. We're going to talk some Olympic hockey. We're going to unveil the rosters that you and I have...
We're going to scoop them.
This is it. That you and I have correctly selected. But before we do...
I'm really unsure about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I look at my roster, too, and I'm like, I like this team a lot. And yet, there's that guy over there. We'll get into it.
But it feels like my fantasy team I draft every year. And I'm like, I had such great intentions. I feel like it kind of sucks. Anyways, this is not suck. I just feel like...
This is what Kevin Adams thought every year before.
Yeah, well.
Oops.
Let's not put us.
No, I don't think the Canadian Olympic team...
in that category.
No. But before we get into it, let's get into the pint. You have already got into yours. What are you riding with over there?
Extremely seasonal for a lovely summer day, maybe. This is from Beyond the Pale.
Nice.
This is their
Nice.
No Good Deed Ghost. It's a ghost.
Ghosts unpunished.
Exactly. So,
I like it. That's clever.
and it's 5%. It tastes like it's 3%. It's super light. It has a nice, it is refreshing.
Yep.
Has a nice citrus, and I don't know what the citrus is, but it could be lemon. But it's mild,
Yep.
and so it's actually quite nice for a ghost.
Well, especially middle of the holiday season, right?
Well, I need a
At
little
some point, you got to
something.
pump the brakes, get a little something in me, but not anything that's going to keep crushing me.
And I've had a pile of stouts. Stouts always roll into the house around Christmas.
Yeah.
And so a little palate cleansing ghost here on this,
Okay.
not a bad idea.
No, and it feels like a lot of the things I've had over the last few weeks are meant to crush me. Like a lot of 8%,
Yeah.
10%. And as you mentioned, stouts specifically, I'm happy to try it, but man, you just find your evening spirals a little afterwards. I had 3 beers. What happened? Oh, all of them were.
And that one that I gave you that comes in a little box, you may take that down in a. It comes with a drinker's advisory.
Get to a safe place, I believe it's normally.
Split it up into 2 sessions is probably what it should be.
Never.
Okay.
Over here, just given what we're going to talk about, I went with one that every craft beer
Molson
fan...
Canadian.
No. It's a reasonable stab.
Yeah.
Especially because, A, what we're talking about, and B, I was going to say, because I'm looking forward to getting home, but I've been home.
Molson Dry because it's in Quebec.
What's in Quebec?
You.
I'm not in Quebec.
All right. Molson Dry?
No. Could you stop and just let me say it?
Could you stop?
I know right here what it is. I can tell you.
Stop guessing.
This is the Canuck Pale Ale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From
Those guys down at Great Lakes
Great Lakes.
in Toronto. Yeah.
Yes.
This is one of the favorites of... I've been to the finest bar in Elmont, or at least I'm told. I've only ever been to one. And it's in the basement of our friends, Michaela and Josh. And it's often on tap there. But given the content of today,
what was the pub?
their basement.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it was in their house. Okay.
And it's brilliant. Lots of craft beers to choose from. Often wrestling on the television.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still struggling from our mid-December
John Cena.
wrestling heavy episode.
Wrestling heavy.
Oh, come on, man.
It's like 9 minutes of 110 minutes.
And I think I'm struggling because we talked about it in the green room too.
Fucking right, we did.
And it just it leaves.
Should we do that again now? Like, I got more thoughts on it.
Well, I left all my good shit in the green room, right? Like it's. How often does that happen?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that we leave all our good shit. It's that we're better off leaving the good shit in the green room.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We don't need the show getting canceled. Anyway.
Well, I got some things I can
Some
get us there.
cancelable
Exactly. I got some cancelable quotes for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Next time we'll do the 10 or 11% beers and we'll get them on the air. Look, we're going to unveil our Olympic selections, and the way we've done this, and you and I talked about, I don't remember if it was on the air or not, but not to guess what they're going to do, was if it was up to you or up to me, and it should be up to me, how would this team be selected? So we'll get to that in a few minutes, but I saw a quote, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago now, I guess, a week ago now, where someone was sort of talking about as you build this Canadian team and how it compares to the greatest Canadian Olympic teams ever. And someone said, look, you're never going to get, even up front, because I think we all understand, and we've talked about this before, goaltending, this or that, defense, this or that. But the forwards are supposed to be the strength of this team. And even there, someone said, well, you'll never have quite the firepower that 2010 did. And to their quote, it was, and that's the best offensive group ever. And it was a very good offensive group. You had a third line of Rick Nash, Mike Richards, and Jonathan Taves. Like, not bad.
Pretty young it's a young Jonathan Toews
Sure.
and a young
Mike Richards.
Mike Richards.
Yep. 100%. But like if you have Rick Nash on your third line, you're okay. You're doing okay. And you have Crosby, although he didn't have a great tournament at the time. But I'm curious to get your take on this because you might, as someone who predates me by just a little bit, have a different take on this than even I do. I look back and I go, are we certain that forward group in 2010 is better than the forward group in 2002? Which for me, I think of Sakic and Yzerman and Shanahan and Lemieux like having a great tournament.
Yeah.
Jerome McGinley in his breakout year. Eric Lindros is on that team. He's not what he once was, but he's
Simon
still...
Gagne.
Simone Gagne and Jerome McGinley play on the wings with Joe Sakic by the time that tournament. That is not the way they drew that up to start, but by the end, that was a killer line. Theo Fleury is back on the blue line, man. I know it's not quite the same as what we're talking about offensively, but you have what became this sort of traditional Canadian top four for a while of Pronger and Blake and Foote and Niedermeyer and Al McInnes. And then, fuck it, throw a kid in there. Here's Brewer playing on the third pair. Eric Brewer, man, and he looked good. So I think there's a time and place for these things. And to me, that's the one that stands out to me the most because those are the guys I grew up. They always say, the ones that stay with you are the ones in your youth a little bit, right?
Your first love, Matt.
Are you
your Eric Brewer
87?
Your Eric Brewer would become your Wade Redden in 06.
Or Brian McCabe in 06.
The ones where you go, oh, no wonder we didn't.
We had like
no wonder
6
we didn't
injuries,
win.
and all of a sudden your blue line is, oh no.
That guy? And that guy?
And it became that 06 one was, I don't care what anybody says, we're taking Todd Bertuzzi because of what he'd been, and that's that hockey loyalty thing and whatever. And his best days were already behind him.
Yeah.
Whether it was because of the mental thing that went along with what had happened or just he was spent, but it just became this thing. We're doing it. We're taking him.
That 06 team, debacle.
It stunk.
Like and it's the cratered out thing that nobody talks about anymore. You're like, don't talk about that.
Yeah. No.
06 never happened. Right? Like it's just, the Swedes, we can all look at the Swedes and go, look at those Swedes. They're so happy.
Yeah.
As opposed to the joking Swedes.
I look at, and that was the final breath for that group. That was also the coaching staff of Pat Quinn, Jacques Martin, Ken Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Those guys are done. Gretzky running the thing, that's done. By 2010, they've turned it over to a whole new group. And for whatever you want to say about it, that's coming out of the lockout. So some of these older guys are older and slower. Like they've missed a year. Whether they were ever going to get back to it, they hadn't yet. But 2010 is where we really turned the page. But for me, trying to say 2010 is the best offensive group, and it is a great group, man. Iginla is now well established, although kind of towards, not the end, but the end of his prime.
Yeah.
Eric Stahl is there. Crosby, again, is quiet.
There was that narrative that you couldn't find somebody to play with him.
Yep.
Kind of like what we hear with McDavid now.
Well, by the end of it, it was Eric Stahl and Jerome McGinley up on his wings, just trying to figure it out, and it worked out. Yeah, and in 4-on-4, certainly that panned out okay for you. But
it's trash. 4-on-4 to finish. Like, what are we doing?
I bet you we're doing 3-on-3 if it goes there now.
No, I get it. I'm just
fuck.
I'd rather see just go 5-on-5. Let her rip.
100%, man. In a gold medal game. Oh, we got to get to the closing ceremony though. So it's. Do you like? I'm sure you have memories of '87. Does that register for you greater than 02? Or, like, you've seen all of these? I'm painting you in a bad light, but
no,
you would have a longer memory dating back than I do.
Well, in 87, not being Olympics.
No.
Obviously, but, man, when you have Gretzky and Lemieux in their prime,
yes,
and you have, like, when you have Howardchuk on that goal, as, like, he was a
coffee.
And people forget about how good Dale Howardchuk was in the 80s.
Yep.
He was a killer. It's just, and he's an afterthought, kind of.
Gilmore
right?
also on that team, speaking of killers.
Yeah. St. Louis Blue at that time? Maybe. Anyways,
sure.
That to me, and it was different, right? The game was different.
100%.
And so...
was it not, did it not go down as being all 3 games ended 6-5?
6-5, 6-5, 6-5, yeah.
Four Nations gold medal game was 3-2, like...
Yeah. No.
as was the 2010 gold medal Olympic game, 2014
was
Canada
two zip or 3-0. What was that? It was
2014 gold medal game was
2014,
3-0 against
3-0. Swedes.
2010 was 3-2.
3-2. Yep.
It's a different era.
For sure it was. And so it feels like, now when you watch back and you look at video, you're like, is this in the 40s?
Why are you just kicking at it? Like, goalie? Like,
Yeah, it's like a cow knee bone you're firing around there. But to me, that is, it's like that's a generation before almost,
Yep.
right? It's
but it doesn't mean we don't count them in hockey, Canadian hockey lore.
no, for sure. It was great. I loved it. And that is the thing that I always, like when people talk about, they're like 72,
Yep.
87, what are the 02, what are the moments? And to me, it's always,
To me, it's almost the opposite of a recency bias. It's it's same as your music, right? The people who were stars in the game at the time that you were growing up and falling in love with the game are the best ever. As opposed to so many other things where it's like, well, whatever's happening right now must be the most important thing or must be the best ever.
although
right?
no Steve Yzerman on that team. What are you doing?
Made the 02 team on half a knee and would
Yep.
grind out a cup that year.
And he was my guy. Like
Yeah.
he was always my guy. And I held a bit of a grudge, but the team was so heavy with Flyers and Oilers, the 87
yes,
team.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's
Mike Pekka's on that 02 team. It's just
small Becca.
This is it. Like, it's just a different Joe Nieuwendyk.
One of the
like I said,
one of the greatest scars, face scars, Mike Pekka. It's looking good.
He always had just the sketchiest beard going when you'd interview him or whatever else.
because the rest of his face was all chopped up and whatnot, and so like sticks and whatever else, and so he couldn't grow a full beard.
Yeah. No, it's
He
just
was a gamer.
interesting.
He was a gamer.
Oh, 100%, man. And he belonged on that team at the time. I remember the conversation being, is Mike Pekka Rob Zamner for this 4 years later, right? Zamner was 98. And like, no, like Mike Pekka might score 30 goals for you in a regular season. Rob Zamner might score 9.
Well, and Mike Pekka will blow you up in the middle of the
100%, man. So these are the sorts of conversations as it dates back. But do you have a favorite Canadian Olympic team, or is it just?
Yeah, it's 02.
Yeah,
It's 02. That, you know what? Yeah, 02. 02 is what I'm going to go with. It's either or 2010.
Yeah.
It's one of the two. The 2014 team was great, but it was a bit boring.
Yeah, that's the way I remember it too. And I think part of it is the time of day.
3 goals against in the whole tournament.
This is it. Like, you can't be more dominant than that. Like, maybe that should be, based on merit, the favorite.
But not the most offensive team. Like it was, they played a lockdown style.
Well, so they beat in the quarterfinal. That's the game against Latvia, where they end up pulling that out of the fire 2-1.
Yeah.
After that, and power to them. That crazy trick play where the face-off is
Coming out of the bench on the other.
Yeah, it's on an offside, and so you're over on the bench side. Latvia wins the draw. The right D jumps off onto the bench, and up at the other end, right forward jumps on and has a breakaway. You're like, you know what? Good for you, but fuck, come on.
Yeah. I think Kadri ended up scoring a goal in the Cup final for Colorado, doing a very similar thing.
There you go. Well, I love it if it's Nas, but
Yeah, but playing for Colorado, never do that as a Leaf.
no, you'd have fucking Sheldon Keefe telling you,
Well,
sit back there.
and he would also be suspended.
He would also be out of the game by then. That's right. A theme that may reemerge when we talk about this year's Olympic team. I'm with you. Like, that gold medal game is also at 7 a.m. And so I'm at my sister's place.
In 2014?
Yeah. Because you got to account for the time change, and then you got to have the closing ceremonies by like noon or 1 o'clock or whatever it is. So
I am watching, and this is
Vancouver 2010 was, again, noon
Yeah.
Vancouver time.
3 here.
Yeah. So that's more fun.
I'm watching that Sochi gold medal game, and like it's so clear. So many moments in that Olympics. I'm at the Uville Arena in Orleans. One of my kids are
So
playing.
you're almost to Russia at that point.
Yeah, it's true. It's far east, man. It is way out in the east. One of my kids has got a game, and it must have been an 8 o'clock start. So we're there at 7,
Yeah.
and somebody's in 2014, somebody's got it on their phone.
Nice.
And so we're
Watching
all
on little BlackBerry screens.
well, yes, and we're all sort of we got to get close to the window because in those arenas,
Get the
everything's
signal.
concrete, and so the other, so that's how I watched half of that game. And the other thing I remember is the Datsuk and St. Louis Blues,
TJ Oshie.
TJ Oshie,
The shootout from a few days earlier.
yeah, we're in a different arena, up against the glass again, watching that shooter go back and forth, back and forth. So there were very strong
Memories.
of 2014, but to me, it wasn't the most exciting Canadian team. Now, it feels like you're shitting on a dominant.
This is it. Like you strangled the life out of your competition and deserve credit for that, but it wasn't that much fun to watch, so fuck you kind of thing, right?
Babcock.
Well, he was also the 2010 but yeah, no, I that's my memory too, is the gold medal game, 7 a.m. We're at my sister's place. We have a bunch of our, childhood friends all over, and they're doing breakfast while we're doing the game. But it's just not quite the same vibe. And part of it just is, it's 3-0. It's never in doubt, right? Like,
Are you guys a Caesar family?
some are, I'm not. I don't care. I'll just have a Canadian while I'm
Okay. Yeah,
not every day at 7 a.m., but that day at 7 a.m.
I
certainly.
do love a Caesar, and so yeah, to me, get yourself a mimosa or
Yeah, 2010, it's all moments, right? And this is why we look at it the same way. Like, who was my favorite player at the time, or who did you watch that game with at the time? But yeah, I don't really remember 98. Again, it's the other side of the world.
Oof.
So many games are on in the middle of the night.
I was devastated by that 98 loss.
That was supposed to be our dream team, right? Similar to just
That was gonna be
6
Barcelona,
years earlier, yes. Where the Americans rolled in with, fuck yeah, let's go, Patrick Waugh and Gretzky. And now we didn't have Lemieux at that point, but you had just about everybody else if you weren't wasting picks on Corson and Zamner. And yeah, the guy takes a beating. He probably had a perfectly serviceable career.
Well, he's the Bill Buckner. He's the Bill Buckner of Canadian hockey, eh? That's the guy everyone looks at and goes, I don't care if Hasek and the Czechs stood on their
Rob
head.
Zamner screwed.
You did it, Zamner. You did it.
And you too, Bob Clark. What are you doing?
100%. And not only Bob Clark, Mark Crawford. Thank you very much. Pride of Belleville.
I don't know if anyone else will remember this. In 98 or late 97, whenever they selected the team, they unveiled the team in Ottawa at a Sens game. They had kids skate out in those players' jerseys. And so that made Hockey Night nationwide, right? Each game was delayed.
Last time.
To a late. That's the only time the Sens have had center stage on Hockey Night in Canada. But the reason I remember it is being like, I had become one of those guys, much like yourself a little bit earlier, a bit of a bandwagon jumper. Because the Leafs in 98, it's not so good. But I had loved the new Avalanche jersey, right? And so when they went out there...
Sorry, when was I the bandwagon jumper?
You didn't go from the Habs to the Red Wings to...
No.
Probably the Islanders.
The bandwagon was... Sorry, yeah, okay. Habs to Islanders.
Okay.
And then to the Wings, who sucked.
Okay.
So that's when I got off. But you're right. Sorry. As a technicality...
There's some validity to it.
As a 9-year-old, I did go from powerhouse to powerhouse.
Right.
True.
Okay. So, and I got into hockey a little later in life than you did. And so while the Leafs were just awful, I'm like, I have no obligation to cheer for these fucking guys. Like,
is this what it's like all the time?
Yeah, exactly.
Because this blows.
And so Colorado was the newest team, loved the jersey, loved the logo. And I'm like, I'll just cheer for those guys. I'm like, you mean those guys with Patrick Waugh and Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg? I'm like, yeah, those guys. That'll be fun. This is always going to be great. But the kid who skated out, and my buddy Shane is a long-time Leaf sufferer who got into hockey way earlier in life than I did. And he was mad at me even back then for cheering for the Avalanche. And when they unveiled the team at Corel Center, having kids skated, and the kid wearing the Joe Sakic jersey fell. He was the only one. These are like 10-year-old kids, 9-year-old. And Shane's pointing at me, go, that's your guy. That's your fucking guy. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
So,
okay.
98. But it was just the hours stunk. it was a
middle of the night.
it was a hard tournament to watch, right, at that age and at any age, I suppose.
And honestly, I'm getting up, I'm wearing a jersey in the middle of the night,
Right.
watching these games.
If this was today, I'm getting up, but it's in sweatpants and a hoodie, like maybe, right? That's because I'm sitting here in my basement with nobody else or whatever else. I remember getting up. Remember when the World Juniors in like 14, it was in Ufa,
Russia.
and Canada games in the round robin were starting at like 5:30 in the morning. Like, yeah, I guess I'll get up and watch them just beat the piss out of Latvia or something else.
Kazakhstan.
Honest to God, man. It's this isn't bad. I went through the schedule the other day and was putting Canada games on my calendar. You can tell NBC flexed us out of prime time a couple times because 3 p.m. is as late as a game can start in Italy. And the Americans have the 3 p.m. slot anytime we're going head-to-head. But we're at 10:30, 11 in the morning. It's not bad.
Have you seen those John Hamm commercials?
Yeah. Where he's cheering on.
Where he's talking with the Americans?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They're pretty good commercials.
Yeah. Oh, I've only seen the one. I don't know if there's multiple.
I've only seen the one, too.
Yeah. And I think Brady's there. Austin Matthews is there. And whatever else.
Eichel and McAvoy. Yeah.
And so, good on. Just the only reason I bring up those two is playing in Canadian markets. We're like, no, we're going for Canadian tiers. Like, you could shy away from it.
It's Eichel who says that.
Yes, but there is a moment where I can't remember exactly the quote where they ask, and it's Matthews who goes, "No, like we're gonna." Like, all right, like good on those guys for understanding what this is supposed to be, and what you could easily pump the brakes and go, "I don't need that headache right now," because neither team's exactly.
Because Craig Berube may come down here and smash me.
Maybe,
and he may do that anyways.
That's always in the back of my mind. Right? This could happen.
Oh no.
All right. Why don't we just start here before the break and just start with the goaltending, man?
Yes, guy.
And I can't
do it.
This is it. Okay. So to reiterate, these are not predictions of what we think Hockey Canada will do. These are what you and I believe the team should look like.
Right.
I've got
Do you have Binnington on your team?
No, I don't.
Okay.
This is where we part immediately with where reality is going to kick you in the nuts and say, well, Doug Armstrong does. But I went with Logan Thompson, Darcy Kemper. At time of recording, there's some...
Yeah. He's on IR.
It doesn't sound like it's long term.
No, it doesn't. It just sounds like they're looking for
And this will come up again when we get to talking about Connor Bedard, which sounds a little more long term. But it's
we'll see. I was talking to people at Johns Hopkins today.
okay.
Yeah, they feel like
Checking your sources.
They're pretty comfortable.
Okay. So I have Logan Thompson, Darcy Kemper, and Mackenzie Blackwood beating out his own backup, who people were talking about just a couple of weeks ago, Scott Wedgwood, who was having a great start. Did you go in a different direction there?
No, I did.
Okay.
I went with Logan Thompson, Darcy Kemper, and Scott Wedgwood.
Okay.
I don't have Binnington either. And really, the Wedgwood for the Blackwood, whatever. Like,
Just give me some wood.
Full wood. Double down on the wood.
Either one of these threesomes gives me wood, man. Like we've got enough wood, we'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't really, it doesn't matter to me which one of those, whether it's Mackenzie Blackwood or Scott Wedgwood. I don't care.
No.
To me, Binnington does
because in both cases they're third.
Right. And you look at Binnington, I don't have any time for the 06 lesson is, guess what? You learn, you can't stay loyal for too long.
Mm-hmm.
It'll hurt you. So to me, there's nothing, zero that Binnington showed this year that says that he should be on this team.
So I've tried to, and I'm sure you did as well, I've tried to take in a few other predictions from around different, like I went and I looked at Justin Bourne and what he was, he put up a piece on sportsnet.ca a week or so ago. Dom Luszczyszyn for The Athletic, he did it from a strictly numbers perspective and goes, I get it. There's more to it than that, but here's what that would look like, right? Like just try and gather. Craig Button has been doing teams on TSN to go from the opposite of what Dom Lucian was doing. And just try and get some perspective here. And there is no case to be made at all for Jordan Binnington.
Loyalty. That's it.
And but that one overtime in the Four Nations, and he was full value for it.
100%.
And then we talked in the spring about how he jumped on a plane, went to World Championships, coming off the back end of a Game 7 loss, I think an overtime
to
loss.
Winnipeg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Went, no, I'm going to go. And that was him saying, putting my fucking foot down, I'm here. Yeah. I'm the guy.
I'm committed.
And you and I both said at the time, he probably didn't have to do that. Like, he's carved in enough. And yet, over his last 77 starts, he is 45th in the league in terms of starting goaltenders' accumulated stats. And there's only 32 teams. How can you be 45th? There is no argument other than, like you said, loyalty and this mythos of showing up in big moments. And I just don't buy it. I don't buy that it's still there. Okay, it's not just that he has underperformed his own numbers this year. It is that he is apocalyptically bad and doesn't even belong to be starting for the Blues anymore.
Hang out with, Hofer.
Yeah, Joel Hofer. He's not good either.
No, I know, but there was a stretch. There was a stretch in mid-December where he had taken 4 or 5 starts in a row, right? Like Armstrong.
Yep. Working the Blues, running the Blues.
And the GM of Team Canada has also said, you know what? That's not good. And if you look at Binnington at Worlds, because he went to Worlds.
Lost to Denmark with us.
Yeah, but the year before as well.
Yep.
Didn't do well there either.
No.
Has the Four Nations moment.
Yep. Has a Stanley Cup moment. Like, there is a bit of validity if you believe in that stuff that shows up in the big games. I need you to show up in a couple more than that.
Well, and they need to be more than 6-7 years apart.
That'd be super too.
And so all I'm saying is you are gonna have a Cadillac of a team in front of you.
Yep.
So this lends itself more towards a Thompson or a Kemper. Like I look at a Kemper as a guy who's like, hey man, I'm here to stop the shots that I should. The
stoppables.
I was trying to avoid that.
The JR, yes.
Yes, I was trying to avoid the stoppable.
Shout out John Rodenberg.
But he's going to be there to do, he's the steady Eddie guy, right? Where he's just going to, in a system that's not going to allow a lot probably.
This is that difference between this team and the 2014 team where Carey Price had this stifling defensive team in front of him and he was asked to stop the stoppables, but he's an all-time great. And so he will do that unquestionably. Yeah. We don't have a Carey Price right now and the defense isn't the 2014 defense, but I'm with you on this.
It's pretty good, though.
It is pretty good. And I'm with you on this. I think those are my 3. Whichever Colorado would you like, they're third. And if you're starting that guy, other shit has already long gone off the rails. But I would run with, like, I don't even think, well, certainly Montembeau's not even in the picture right now.
Oh,
like, Montreal has had
he's in Laval.
Right. Aiden Hill.
Injured.
Back, I believe, but has created no room for himself to get back in it. And I wasn't that, so I didn't object to it last year, but
he's another steady Eddie guy. He's in the Kemper mold.
And if he ends up there ahead of one of the Colorado guys, just so we can say we took somebody from the Four Nations, I got no real beef with that. But he hasn't created enough room for himself to.
But I am so interested in the Logan Thompson, Bruce Cassidy. That whole wrinkle, right? Which is what people said last year. The rumor was not a good relationship with Cassidy in Vegas.
Who's one of the assistant coaches.
Correct. And how that whole thing shook loose.
Well, Friedman talked about this a month or two ago on 32 Thoughts, saying that Hockey Canada had a belief, whether it came through Bruce Cassidy or not, and it sounds like it may have, that he would not accept a lesser role well, right? Like, unless I'm the guy... I don't, and we've seen people do it. Patrick Waugh wanted that assurance in 2002,
right.
And they said no, like it'll be. And he went, well, then I'll see it. Mika Kiprasov told Finland in 2010, if I'm not starting every game, I'm not going. They kind of went, well, all right, I guess you'll start every game, and he was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Well, so you got to be careful.
The best before date was off the.
That's right. But Logan Thompson, by all accounts and the things you read, went out of his way to get messages through to Hockey Canada. That is not accurate. Whatever you need me, similar to Ed Belfour in 02, who had to go out of his way to say, if you need me to drive the bus and carry the equipment, I'm in. Like
Make sandwiches?
Right, I'm in. This is Team Canada at an Olympic Games. Whatever my reputation says it might be, I will be.
I'll give you $1 billion. I'll give you $1 billion if you put me on the team.
And I know a guy who can drive the bus.
There's a reference in there.
Yeah, 100%. You got to be a little older to grab that. But I think that Logan Thompson apparently went out of his way to say, if I'm the third guy, if I'm the second, you can count on me to do that. And it would be tough to have to, hear that that's what people think of you, and then do whatever you can. And now I don't even think it matters. Like, he would be my guy if we were starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Right.
If you needed a goalie, I'm carrying his bag.
100%, man.
And what can I do for you, Logan?
That $1 billion taxi driver is going to show back up several years later. No, I think so too. Let's just embrace for the second before we take a break the idea, because Don Luszczyszyn in his piece said Canada right now does not have a goalie problem the way we think we do. We just have a choosing the right goalie problem.
Interesting, Dom.
Yeah. If we're I'm not taking
Carter George.
We'll see. I'm not taking Jordan Binnington. You're not taking Jordan Binnington. I am assuming they're taking Jordan Binnington. Do we still what is our faith in John Cooper and in Doug Armstrong that, okay, we've had to do this as a show of respect. Do we have to go as far as starting him in game one, which is, I believe, Czechia? That's the hardest game in your pool.
Yeah, no, I don't, man. Again, if you do that, you haven't learned the lesson of 06.
No,
you cannot. It's a results oriented business.
Well, Bill Guerin came out also a few weeks ago and said this isn't Pee Wee selections. Who was the best at training camp?
Amen, brother.
That's fine. We got to look at the body of work. Then look at the body of work, man. So. Point being, it can't just be Logan Thompson's great right now. He was also great last year, and you left him off. Jordan Binnington's been bad for a year and a half, but he was good at the Four Nations, so we're going to start him again. This is fucking malpractice, man.
Yeah, no. To me, Logan Thompson has put up a sample size big enough for me to go, I don't see anybody else in a Maple Leaf jersey doing what that guy's doing.
Right. Let's say Logan Thompson, I don't know, comes up lame sometime during the Olympics.
Yeah.
You have to start a semifinal game tomorrow against whatever, Sweden or Kemper, Blackwood, Wedgwood, and
Binnington?
Yes.
No, I'm going with Kemper.
I would too.
Well, that makes for terrible audio.
And neither of one of us right now are sure the guy's even fucking healthy. Yeah. I'm wheeling him out there on a stretcher and propping him up in the net like Millhouse tied to the post.
Kemper, Blackwood, Wedgwood, Shooter Tutor, Binnington.
There you go. That's the correct ranking of that. We'll take a break here. We'll circle back and we'll talk about, the rest of the team.
There's other parts.
Niedermeyer regroups. Crosby over the line. Sidney Crosby can't bust in. Up with it again. He's on the ice with Iginla. Iginla. Crosby! Sidney Crosby! The golden goal! And Canada has once in a lifetime Olympic gold!
We should probably cover the rest of the team, although I'm not really certain it's going to matter. If you select Binnington as your guy, just don't bother getting on the fucking plane to go over there. Can I ask you, just before we get started, and this will obviously be referring mainly to one guy who I'm sure we'll discuss, did the fact that this rink will be 4 feet shorter factor into any of your decisions?
Not a one.
No, me neither. I get that we're hearing players say, oh, there won't be any room out there and whatever, and I don't think, knowing that those 4 feet are being chopped out of the
neutral zone.
Yeah. I don't think this is the thing that we think it might be, but it might justify a few other. It's a tentative crack.
Well, man, I knocked it over.
That's true. Yeah,
just before we got on air. So
that's right.
See,
tearing into it.
confident, but I had environment
Yeah.
in mind here.
Okay. I appreciate that.
I know
We've
you
already
do.
had one debacle this month that
Yeah.
that cost a couple of my nieces and nephew gifts. Sorry about that.
Not me, though.
No, not
me.
Not you. That's correct. We should get that out there. Let's start up front then. And there was already a few locks here. You had to announce 6 players ahead of time. So Canada went with Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon, Point,
Reinhardt.
and Reinhardt. And then on defense, Makar was the 6th.
Yeah.
I found the easiest way to do this was to work through it by lines, how I would set this thing up.
That's kind of how I went. But
But there's room for debate here in a bunch of areas.
If they had one take back,
Yeah.
do you think they're looking at Point?
Yeah. He's had a bad year.
Like he's at like 16, 17 points, whatever it is. Like he's 7 goals or right.
So, and here's the thing. I agree with you, but I don't think there was any universe where John Cooper was not taking Braden Point
Well, he's
somewhere on this
He's
team.
one of the first 6.
Yeah.
So
well, but this is what I'm saying, though. If he hadn't been and you had the option to turf him, I still don't think they would have. And this is going to come up in a few different places. Who's playing great right now? What is that worth? We talked before the break about Bill Guerin's, body of work versus who's hot right now. Even when I worked through this, I never got to a point where I didn't have Braden Point on my team.
No, I have him on my team because he's one of the first.
No, I know, but even had I done it just on what's happened this year, couple cup rings, he was pretty versatile in the Four Nations.
Yep.
Playing center on the third line at times with the Tampa guys, moving up to play wing with the big boys when you needed him to. It's disappointing that he's having this type of season, but you just hope, I think, because I have knocked out one of John Cooper's guys.
I have knocked out one of John Cooper's guys.
So I don't think you were ever going to get to a place where you knocked out 2 of them. And this is it. This is the reality of the conversation.
I've actually knocked out 2 of John Cooper's guys.
Okay. The reality of the conversation as you and I are having it, to pull the curtain back and make sure it's clear to the audience, you and I are talking on Thursday the 18th?
Yep.
Yeah. So, if somebody that we're raving about here is crippled on the 19th.
Well, and really, I've only taken Hagel out because I'm not sure of his health.
Okay. Yeah, because Florida won't stop elbowing him in the head.
Exactly.
Like every time.
Yes.
Okay, that was not the guy that I took out, although you said you took out 2. So let me start with my, like I said, I did this in lines just because I thought it was easier.
Yeah, it is easier, yes.
My top line, Crosby, McKinnon, Reinhardt. Those were all locked in, so there's nothing controversial there.
See, what I wanted to do was I wanted to go, so I have Crosby and McKinnon as well.
Okay.
I wanted to go with the...
Well, can we wait and do the lines after we do see who we have just in terms of in common players?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. And then we can talk about how I'd mix them versus how you'd mix them, but just to get through the 13 regulars and
it's 14, right?
You have 14, but you can only
extra.
dress 13.
Okay.
And 1 sits upstairs.
All right.
Same with 7D and 1 sits upstairs.
Right.
So my top line was Crosby,
So you're
McKinnon.
You're confusing me again here. You're going through your lines.
Yes. What's your? I don't really care to compare lines. I'm just trying to get through the guys we each have on the team. Do you have all 3 of those guys on the team? Because they're guaranteed.
I have all 3 of those guys on.
My second group of 3, if that's easier.
Nope.
Celebrini, McDavid, and Marner.
Okay.
All 3 for you. Did Celebrini make your team?
Yes.
Yes. Hagel, Suzuki, Point. All 3 of those guys on your team.
Yep.
Okay. Stone, Bo Horvat, and Tom Wilson. Anybody there not on your team?
All those guys are on my team.
But not all in the top 12.
Correct.
Okay. Well, we can get into that in a second. And my extra 2, Marchand and Scheifele.
Wow, Matt. That's what I got too.
Okay. So again, we've mixed them differently.
Yes, we have.
Okay. And I have time for that conversation. And I will say this as we work through the forward conversation, up until 3 or 4 days before you and I recorded this, I did not have Scheifele and I did have Connor Bedard.
Oh, wait. I have Connor Bedard.
So you believe, okay, so who have we missed here? Oh, you didn't have Hagel on your team.
I didn't have Hagel.
Okay.
And only due to...
He's at 17, 18 goals right now.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's only health.
Mm-hmm.
So...
But Bedard's health you're comfortable with.
Well, but I am comfortable naming Bedard knowing that I can flip him with an injury if I have to.
Yeah.
And I would take Hagel. That would be the guy.
Right.
If it came down to it, if I named that and there was an injury where Bedard couldn't go. But I'm counting on, like when you look at separated shoulder, depending on the degrees,
Yeah.
2 to 12.
Yes.
2 weeks to 12 weeks. It's a huge spread.
Well, I think Blashill came out, the head coach of Chicago, and said, Bedard is saying, consider me day to day. Or, no, I think he said week to week.
Yeah.
And we're not even going to talk about it again until after the new year,
And
which
they
is
said
after the selection process.
Early January, which, hey, when are they picking the team?
Yeah.
So,
Don't you feel like this gives Hockey Canada the out they would have been looking for as traditionally conservative?
to not take him?
Yes. Oh, see, we were gonna, but he got hurt, and now we weren't sure, and we didn't get to.
But take a look at the guy in terms of
Just
of,
look at
of
him.
what he's done, this year.
I'm with you.
And you're like, and in a not small sample size.
So I will say this. I had him on my team too, and I was being aggressive about it. I had Celebrini with McDavid and Marner. I would have had Bedard with McKinnon and Crosby, and then Reinhart still on my team, certainly, but probably on like the third line, knowing he's a pretty responsible player. Like he can play in my bottom six. If I'm taking these guys, it's to be aggressive. Like these are top six guys if they're playing. I can't have you in my bottom six checking. I don't trust Connor Bedard to do that. But if I am going to take you, you got to be my top six. And I trust that a Reinhart or a Marner, who we saw at Four Nations move up and down the lineup when needed, right? I would have had Celebrini on one line. And again, we can argue about the lines, and I would have had Bedard on another one, but both of my top six. If we're doing this, let's do this. And I wanted to be aggressive.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
I have, and I went with what I originally wanted to do was I wanted to put the Denmark revenge line. I wanted Crosby, McKinnon, and Celebrini on
That'd
that
be
line.
fun.
Right? That's what I was looking
I think that's
for.
3 lefties, so it's a little tough.
It is.
But I'd do it.
It is.
I'd do it.
And now it's 3 guys who play center.
Yes.
So I'm less concerned
Sure.
about where I'm going to put a center. But that was ultimately the reason I flipped that and put Bedard there as a righty and went with Reinhart, McDavid, Bedard.
Okay.
So very similar to you.
Yeah.
We've just mixed and matched when you didn't have Bedard, right? But
Well, again, just because of the injury, and I think it's given Canada what they want.
right.
We don't have to take both now. Oh, see, we would have. He's hurt, though, so I doubt. I'm less certain now that they will take him. I believe he'll be an alternate.
But he is an elite shooter.
I'm with you, man.
And if you put him in a spot with McDavid, like to me, McDavid will find you.
Yes.
And
Yes, he will.
And when you have the capabilities to fire the puck like Bedard does, that is perfect.
No, I'm with you. I've got on the third line Suzuki. And I think a lot of people were looking at that guy as, and again, these are sort of left over from how I was building my lines. If I'm taking Bedard and I'm taking Celebrini, my third and fourth line centers have to penalty kill. Like I've got 2 guys now in my starting 12 that absolutely cannot. I'm not going to ask them to do it. And so instead of Nick Suzuki being in the conversation around the bottom, and maybe that was already not fair, I want that guy at 3C. He can kill, and he is knocking out Anthony Cirelli for me, like completely off the roster, not just into the stands. But I think I had, it was Suzuki between Point and Hagel. And Point, like I think we mentioned here a minute ago, is not having a good year, but I just don't think there's any chance they're not taking him. but I would push him off to the wing and allow Suzuki, who I don't think kills a ton for Montreal, but is a very responsible.
Well, he does kill. He does some killing, yes.
He does some killing. But
so I went with Suzuki as my 3C.
Yeah.
In between Bo Horvat and Mitch Marner.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Although if I'm taking Bo Horvat, it's again to be what Anthony Cirelli was. He's not quite as defensively responsible. And again, the reason Cirelli has been knocked off this roster, they took him last year not expecting him to score. They're fine with the fact that he doesn't. He's never cracked 60 points. But even his defensive numbers this year have broken down in a big way. Like, he's given shit up. He's just not what he was last year. So if I'm doing that, I'll take Horvat at 4C, who isn't quite traditionally as defensive responsible, but still well above average defensively responsible, and might score a bit. And I can use him on the PK. He does do that for the Islanders. So if I'm doing that, I want him at 4C as opposed to a third-line wing. But I have time for that for Bo Horvat, certainly. He made my, not just roster, he's in my starting 12.
Yeah, and it's a big body.
Yeah.
To me, who can still shoot the puck, responsible. Like, he's playing, Christ, he's thriving in a Patrick Roy system in New York.
Yes.
You know you have to be able to play defensively and still produce. Big body. I just liked him with Marner on the right.
Yep.
Defensively responsible, Suzuki, like, to me.
By the end of the Four Nations, that's what we were seeing out of Marner. Like, he had started with McDavid and Point on the other side, maybe. It doesn't matter. They dropped him down. They didn't like
Reinhardt,
how it was going.
Is how that started.
Well, they're both righties. Maybe. Doesn't matter. They had dropped Marner down to the third line. And then in the championship game, they bumped him back up to play with McDavid, and he kind of got going again a little bit to many Blue fans' surprise in a championship game. He performed. So, but this is, I think, one of the things you have to count on. Again,
you just need to sandwich him around between Makar getting him the puck and him giving the puck to McDavid, and you're like, bang, bang. And Matthews
not Riley
looking around like, they're perfect. Hey, you saw it the same way I did. It happened right in front of our eyes.
You're too hard on Matthews in that moment, but that is what happened.
If we're gonna give Mitchie a little bit of glossing, somebody's got to take it.
Matthews.
Somebody's got to take it, and it's the guy who's still wearing the blue and white.
Fair enough. I have both. I'm surprised that we both have Horvat on the team, because even 2 weeks ago I didn't have Horvat. Horvat in my group, but
to me, you can't overlook.
And again, World Championships went over.
Yeah,
did the thing last spring.
Had to leave. Did he not have to leave? Did he not get hurt? He got hurt, eh? Maybe
sounds vaguely familiar.
2/3 of the way through, I think.
So he was not a part of the Denmark shame.
The debacle. That's it. I get out.
The Denmark debacle.
Yeah. So I went with, on my fourth line.
Yep.
I have Scheifele as my 4C.
Okay.
Between Mark Stone and Brad Marchand.
Okay. I didn't have Scheifele on my team until I took Bedard off. And again, I only took Bedard off assuming that, like I said, I went into this full bore because I hated what the World Junior team did last year in Ottawa. Like,
it's fresh in everyone's mind, man.
This is it. And even last year at Four Nations, they didn't score a ton. So I went into this, I'm going to be aggressive. Right. Give me Celebrini. Give me Bedard. Give me Schaefer. We'll get to that. Give me a lot of pieces here who can score. And even Horvat replacing Cirelli was, he's not quite as responsible, but he's pretty responsible, and he might score for you. So I went into this pedal down, and
if you can go with slightly less responsible, or however you want to describe it, but if you can layer responsibility across lines,
this is it.
I would much rather go with offensive upside where I can layer responsibility. And I think that's what we've both done here.
Well, and so, I have on my fourth line Stone, Horvat, and Wilson. And I ended up, with Marchand. I was really surprised I had Marchand outside of my starting 12. Because, look, I didn't...
As of recording, he's got like 38 points.
I know. And he was... honestly, not very good at the Four Nations.
Right.
He struggled to keep up. But from there...
It's the Boston Funk.
Moving on to Florida. He's getting on to a line with Mitchie. Get that Toronto boost.
I'm just saying, you just get off of that. He gets down to Florida.
I'm
had
with
a
you,
great
man.
postseason.
He did. He had a great postseason, and then this year when like 5 of Florida's top 6 are hurt, he's thriving. Like he has led those guys.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, and he'll kill for you too.
And you have, yes, he will. Which
he'll kill
will come
you,
up in the
actually.
debate.
It's a dagger.
And he has done it many a time.
Yes, exactly.
I thought I would have him higher just because Canada's also weak on the left side. That's why you have Crosby on the left and Celebrini on the left. And like Hagel's your only real true outside of Marchand, who I thought I would have on my fourth line. But I just decided I think Mark Stone can move over and play the left, and I trust him a little bit more. He also not of great foot speed.
Well, and Marshy looks slow in that. So
yes.
that is the risk in my fourth line.
Right.
But you do have in Marchand and Stone, who I have as my 2 wingers, they're savvy. And those are guys whose hockey IQ helps their foot speed, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, well, and the other thing I leaned on, this is what it came down to for me. And look, you get to dress 13, so maybe they'll both be in there. Canada's kind of small. Suzuki, not big. Points, certainly not big. Like in your bottom 6, you're not all that big. Marchand, while having that Hockey Canada pedigree, the program allegiance, all of that stuff that I think they're going to lean to, he doesn't help you in terms of the size. And Mark Stone, while not a huge guy, is a physical guy. He can play in the corners. He can this is one of the main reasons you're bringing him outside of his defensive awareness. So he gets my, and again, we're not trying to set the lines here, but just we both had Stone and we both had Marchand. It's just how you're going to use them and dress them.
Right. And I had my 2 extra guys, Braden Point, obviously.
So you only get 1 extra guy.
Well, it's dress.
You can dress 13 forwards,
right?
And 7D.
So
you can bring 14.
So my 12 that we've named,
yes,
and then so the 2 guys I have, who one is dressing, one is not.
Yeah.
I have Wilson and Point.
Okay.
And Wilson I did not have until today.
Yeah.
Today was a day when I went and all right.
And to me, like he comes down. Like we'll talk about Sam Bennett here in a minute. We'll talk about a couple. Travis Konechny. This is not a
Seth
big
Jarvis.
group. Seth Jarvis is a tough guy to bump, man. And these last couple cuts all were. But Tom Wilson is the guy who's going to put his shoulder down and drive inside, right? Like, and even if you are worried, and I am very worried about Olympic refereeing, and I know that everybody's saying, well, it's going to be mostly NHL games.
10 and 10.
NHL refs.
It's split, 50-50.
But they're going to lean into, well, at this point, it's, Switzerland versus Latvia. They'll get the European refs. Canada, USA will get the NHL refs. They are going to factor that in, but it is still an Olympic standard. And so I am scared of Tom Wilson, but he is tied to me in what I said earlier. I was going with Celebrini and Bedard and I'm in or I'm not.
See, the problem with Wilson is he's a right winger who's a right shot.
Yep.
Right? Like he is in a heavy right shot group. Yes,
Canada's depth is at right wing.
And as a non-center, he is a right winger only.
Yes.
And he is a right shot. So he to me is.
But this is like the first year in his career. Even last year when we were talking about him for 4 Nations, this is the first year in his career where even his underlyings suggest now's the time. And if you want to lean into the smaller rink thing, I don't really think that's a factor here. He's scoring at a rate that shows he deserves. I don't think they will, but you could put him on PP2 and put him right in front of the net. And he can lean on some big American defenseman like a Charlie McAvoy or whatever to get to the net, where I think Canada's going to struggle with that a bit. Like Marner's not that guy. Point's not really that guy. Like you have some guys here that are certainly skilled, but are going to push to the middle the way you need to. And I really think last year at the 4 Nations, they sort of got away with it a little bit, right? And then overtime could go either way in a championship game. But give me some size here. And that's been a factor for me. And I just, before I give the mic back to you, Scheifele was my guy that I took in favor or in place of Bedard. And I don't like Scheifele's defensive game. It's certainly better than it was. But if I was going balls out here looking for offense, Scheifele has more than proven here over the last year and a half. He probably deserves to be there because I think if I'm dropping him in there, he's dropping in somewhere on one of the wings in the top 6. And again, as a small group, he's got some size.
As does Bo Horvat.
Bo Horvat also has some size. So Scheifele was not in my group until I and we don't know this, I ruled out Bedard, thinking...
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, because that's who I have on my right side, I have Reinhart, Bedard, Marner, Stone.
Okay.
Right? So to me, Wilson has to replace one of those guys.
Yeah. Well, Bedard...
And
it depends what we think.
Well, where's Hagel? Like,
he's a left wing.
All right, well, then there you go.
He's the only traditional left wing in the mix right now.
So then it comes down to if I'm bumping somebody...
And that's why I also had to... I moved Stone over to LW4. He also at times looked out of place at Four Nations.
Right.
But he's just too good to not take.
I'd rather move a lefty and Horvat to the right as a center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just in terms of... I don't like moving wings as opposed to moving centers. Like,
sure.
And we are center rich here.
Yeah.
Right, in terms of
Well,
guys.
and that's how you ended up with Scheifele at 4C, and where
Right.
I have him sitting out waiting for an inevitable
So
injury.
I also don't envision this Team Canada at the Olympics having Point not on a designated line.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's going to happen. I just wouldn't at this point.
No, I'm with you on that, man.
But I'd probably dress him as the 13th forward.
Well, and this was part of the as you and I talk, this is what I do versus what they do. You still have to live in reality a little bit, right?
No, I don't like that.
No, fuck reality. Reality stinks. No, I Point has not played well enough to be on the team this year, but he's going to be on the team. And he may have a big moment or two. Like, that happens. But yeah, I'm not leaning on him. Yeah, the middle for me, I got McKinnon, McDavid, obviously swap if you want. And you probably would. And then Suzuki.
Although I think they love that McKinnon
and
Crosby
Horvat.
combo.
Yeah.
Give me the Tim Hortons combo. And maybe throw Marshy over there too if you have to.
Yeah, Cirelli we bumped off, and I think that's going to be a real sticking point because of the John Cooper of it all. And like I said, last year they took him with no regard for his offense. That obviously wasn't what they wanted him to do, but now even his defense has fallen off. Once you don't do that, you sort of get that office space. What is it exactly you'd say you do here, right? Like, so
Making coffee.
this is it. And Horvat, not just, the scoring and the whatever, he's actually better on face-offs as well.
Yeah.
So
To me, I was going to
Bennett's
say,
the tough.
to me, Cirelli is not the guy that I worry about.
Yeah.
If it was anybody other than Cooper,
yeah,
Cirelli's not even a
that's
conversation.
right. That's right.
It's Bennett. Bennett is the guy, and no, he's not been good.
Nope. Well, he's gotten better as the year's gone on. But even in Florida right now, with Barkov out, they still don't trust Bennett as their shut down, their matchup center. And if we're taking guys based, and was he not Conn Smythe?
He was indeed.
So this is a tough cut, man.
And so we both did it, though.
Yeah.
And so to me, he is the guy who we talked about Binnington.
If I have Hagel and I have Wilson and Marchand on my team, I'm not worried about Snarl anymore, right? I've got it covered for whatever that's worth, and I think other guys are just better.
But you are talking about Bennett is the opposite of, well, he's like Binnington, but
Yes.
better.
Can I get in on my name?
Well, and the guy who goes, yeah, all we've seen is he was decent in the Four Nations, maybe better than decent.
Yes.
And two back-to-back playoffs.
Did he not score the game-tying goal in the championship game?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I do look at his back-to-back playoff runs. Like, he was just chef's kiss kind of good, right?
Yep.
Like, everybody was that's how that dude gets paid.
Not everybody.
What he gets paid. Like, everyone was like, could we get him? Yeah, Leaf fans were like,
oh, could we get him?
Come on, man. Could he come
out
here?
of the series?
Free agent.
Can he
free
stop
agent.
delivering forearm blows to our goaltender?
Yeah. Well, it's a casual. We happen to be in the same space at the same time. That sounds still Lars, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Putting your head out.
Stop
like
putting your head out.
Fucking
idiot.
Franklin the Turtle.
He's never been the same since.
No, we love that. Sorry.
Do we?
Mental health is a thing.
Yeah.
But that is the biggest cut
That is the biggest
for
cut.
me. And if I have to add him, I'm taking Wilson off.
Yeah, it has to be one of those guys, but I like Wilson more. And obviously so do you. You had him ahead of him. I got enough centers who I can shift in and out if I need to. And I got enough pieces who do what you do, and right now they're doing it better, right? In terms of just being a shithead out there.
But you got to know, and I think the PR blitz that the Wilson camp has been on,
yes,
that if it comes down to a Canada-USA game, they want to see that seek and destroy kind of
there you go.
Forecheck.
Yeah.
And the Brady Tkachuk antidote or the equalizer to it, whatever it may be, right? That is what.
And like I said, I went into this balls out. Bedard,
all in.
Celebrini,
balls out.
Schaefer, Tom Wilson. I understand there is risk with Tom Wilson, but there's maybe less so than there used to be. Risk with Brad Marchand, risk with
all of it.
With Bennett. I just decided, give me the size, give me the scoring touch. You got to factor in a little bit what's happening right now, and he's on pace for 50 goals this year. So he's 49, whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
he's in the 40s for sure. He's tearing it up for sure, and they like his. He brings an intimidation.
Yeah.
And he can hit like a ton of bricks.
He can. Into the defense here, Makar was the only guy locked in based on the top six. But
this is the least interesting portion, I think.
Okay, I'm intrigued by that.
For me.
So, again, just by pairings, I imagine we have a lot of crossover here. I have Taves and Makar on the top pair.
I have Taves and Makar on the top pair.
Morrissey, Theodore.
I have Morrissey and Theodore on the second pair.
Okay, Theodore has some flexibility. He can play on both sides. Honestly, I had a little bit in my head last year going into the Four Nations.
I like Josh Morrissey a lot.
I do too. But I had a little in my head going into the Four Nations last year that Shea Theodore is a little bit going to ride on Petrangelo's, pairing.
He's
and then Petrangelo.
He's had a good year, Theodore, so far.
Well, and he's turned himself suddenly into his rep was sort of pretty good offensively, but defensively you're not so sure. This year he's like a top 5 defensive defender in the league with no way of saying you're riding Petrangelo's coattails.
What about now?
Yeah. How do you like me now, motherfuckers?
Yeah, I see that all the time.
And people are still like,
Same as before, not that much.
So, and the beauty about Theodore is that he can play both sides. He's one of those guys, and not one of those guys that's like, well, he can. But no, he actually can. So,
and he's a great skater, and he's long enough.
And we ended up losing him
good
last
stick.
year.
Well, and Morrissey went out for a bit too, right?
Yes.
When that
That's
happened.
how Harley ended up. Hey, we're down to like 4D.
That was a huge blow,
yes,
man.
It was.
That was, and people talk about that with the Quinn Hughes and all this, but the Canadian D was
ravaged.
Was for sure was damaged. So, because Makar didn't play game 1. Like, there's a bunch of things that happened, right?
Which is going to factor into some of our late decisions here. Health, who would replace who. On my third pair, Matthew Schaefer, Colton Parayko.
Okay. I've gone with Parayko, and I've left the incumbent in Sanheim.
Okay.
Only due to the fact that I like, again, he's a 6'4" guy with a good stick. I don't know, I still don't know a pile about Travis Sanheim, but he's thriving in the Berube.
Nobody's thriving.
Yeah, in the Tocchet system in Philadelphia, in a really nice.
Yep.
They've locked it down. He's thriving there. Like I said, I like his size. Not overly physical, but good stick.
Yeah.
I've gone with Parayko and Sanheim.
And yet he struggled a bit at Four Nations, not like in a terrible way, not like as a debacle, but there were moments where he looked a little out of place, a little like Marchand, who I've still put on my team. Like I'm not writing the guy off.
You're not starting him, though.
I'm not starting him, and actually he's not in my top 8.
Sanheim, not in your top 8?
No.
Okay.
My 7-8 here, and one will get to dress, and one will be up in the press box. I have Doughty and Bouchard.
Whew. See, I've gone with Schaefer and Chychrun.
Okay. And I have Chychrun next man up kind of situation here. And Doughty.
Which is where I have Doughty.
Yeah. this is one of those where I sort of looked at it. It's my team.
Yep.
But let's live in reality with Hockey Canada. They want
Drew Doughty.
They want Drew Doughty.
Yes, they
Whether
do.
or not he can get there, they would like to do that.
I did not live in reality.
No, well, it's the beauty of this show.
Yeah.
I think there's no real reason to have Sanheim, Parayko, and Doughty all on the team. I think there's a lot of crossover there in what we're going to ask you to do. If you want to do 2 out of 3, I think that's probably right. So I don't need. I do have Doughty, and I do have Parayko, and now I don't need Sanheim. If you wanted to swap Sanheim in for one of those other 2, which is actually what you've done, you have Doughty as the first man up.
Yep.
But to me, there's a lot of sort of similar. You're no longer really big offensive contributors.
Right.
We're sort of looking for PK guys, steady minutes guys.
Well, and Doughty is at a spot in his career now where he's a bit of he's a glue guy.
Yeah.
He's a bit of he is not running anything.
Well, is he not, for lack of a better term, and they do different things, they play different ways, he's the Brad Marchand of the defensive group?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I certainly do.
Yeah.
Only I look at what now. I Doughty got hurt,
Yeah.
right? So he is struggling. Marchand is having
A big start.
an outstanding season so far.
Coming off a big playoffs as well.
Correct. And so to me, I just look at that difference. And to me, Doughty is going to be on this team
Yeah.
in some fashion. He'll be in their top 8. I wanted Schaefer, but
This was hard on me, man.
I didn't start him. Maybe he is the extra guy, and you can use him in your Switzerland game. Maybe you use him in the France game. I don't know. I'm just saying he doesn't play against Czechia to start for me. That's a lot to ask of an 18-year-old guy.
I'm with you on that. And this is where I sort of got into this was how does he fit? What is he? But his hot start put him on the radar offensively, and he's continued to contribute. But now they've got him facing top competition over the last month. He's playing with Ryan Pulock, and his underlying numbers there have him like no worse than 3rd on the Canadian. Now, maybe that's Ryan Pulock helping him out a bit, as a vet does, right?
Yeah.
And that's why in this situation, I've put him with Parayko. Can you clean up my messes a little bit if it does happen? But he has shown himself to be defensively responsible, and a lot of the underlying numbers say he's nowhere.
Can you fight JT Miller for me too? Can that happen?
I think JT Miller is going to be feet up on the fucking in the Hamptons during the Olympics. Although it's not that warm in the Hamptons this time of year, but
and we'll see.
We will. They're going to have their own loyalty questions there on the U.S. team. And I would start him just the way the schedule plays out. I would start him against Czechia. Okay, let's see. Can you hang? And if not, we've got France.
That's feet to the fire kind of thing you're talking about.
Game 1. And this would be the only thing. I think ability-wise, he has shown he belongs in this group.
Yeah.
But are you rattled as an 18-year-old? Did that moment seem too big for you? And Czechia, while not a power, is no joke, right? And so if he can't hang with Czechia, okay, you just moved yourself into
world championships.
This is it. Yeah.
I think.
So we can do that, and then we didn't love it.
And there are also people saying, fuck you, man. You didn't invite us to the 4 Nations, and then we go out and win worlds, and guess what we're doing here? Bam! Shock the world here.
There is a guy saying that right on his Instagram. Something's a brewing. I have that opportunity, and then if it doesn't work, cool. Sit down. Doughty will take that spot. And,
all right, I got time for that.
Yeah.
Like, I understand.
And Parayko is a PK guy, a defensive drape. He doesn't pass well. But I think you do need a little bit of shutdown PK.
What if he's the weak spot on your D, Parayko?
And he is.
I like the chances though. Like, to me, he's consistent.
And so you've got, what did I have here in my Doughty and Bouchard? To me,
no way Bouchard ever gets close for me.
So I liked Chychrun, and I tried to find a way to make this fit, but he is not like a lot of his numbers come from the power play, and he's not getting close. Well, he won't be on the power play.
But see, that's what Bouchard brings.
This is it. But to me, Bouchard is only getting, like, he's my 8. So he's in the press box, short of Makar getting hurt. which Makar missed time
Yep.
at the Four Nations. And now you're here. We'll give you a couple of shifts a period, but you are here now to run our power play. And look, for whatever I think about Evan Bouchard, which isn't a lot, and it maybe should be more, he's been to 2 straight Cup finals. He won't be overwhelmed by the moment.
Yeah.
He's used to having teams prepare for him, and he has had to face tough competition along the way. If we end up in a place where Evan Bouchard has to play 10 or 12 5-on-5 minutes throughout the game and runs your power play if something were to happen to Cale Makar, I prefer him in that spot over Jacob Chychrun. I think he's better in that situation than Jake Chychrun.
I like Chychrun to run if Makar is out.
Yes.
I like Chychrun to run that power play, and I think Chychrun plays in a better defensive system right now in Washington.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. I do think Jacob Chychrun is a better, in those regular shifts throughout the game.
Yeah.
I would rather have Chychrun on the ice. And he has the ability, if not to a top degree, he can play both sides if you absolutely insist. Now, I know.
Having seen it here,
But Theodore...
I'm keeping him on the left.
Well, this is it. This is why I like Theodore. Is like, if I have to bring Evan Bouchard in, Theodore moves to the left side now instead of being on the right, and we can sort of move along.
I'm not going to fight you on the Bouchard, Chychrun extras.
Because at this point, these are... We're in trouble moments.
So
right?
you and I have got essentially the same.
The top 2 pairs, top 4 is the same, and then we sort of...
Exactly, and then it's really just the Bouchard Chychrun thing is kind of a
sure. And we both have Doughty. Did you have Schaefer off the lineup?
I have Schaefer in the 7-8.
In the 7-8, okay. So on the team, but not in the starting.
I had Doughty out.
Okay.
On my team, I
don't hate that.
I know Team Canada's taking.
I get that as well. I don't know that you have to have Drew Doughty anymore, but I think they will want to have Drew Doughty.
Correct.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Okay.
But to me, the defense was the part where I think everybody understood universally, no matter whether it's who you're looking at, that top 4 seems to be pretty much etched in stone, right? So it was how much freelancing comes down to it in the bottom 4.
Well, and I again, to circle back to my comparison, as ridiculous as it may or may not be, between Doughty and Marchand, I have both of them on the team, but neither...
Yeah.
Like, Doughty's, I guess, not out of the lineup, but he's at 7, and Marchand is at 13. Is that the way you want to... Like, if you're treating these guys that way, do you just leave them at home and not bother, or does their presence help?
Yeah.
And I imagine it does, and that's why I've sort of...
Well, and I remember...
The way
it had to be 2011, 2012. It was one of those Road to the Winter Classics, HBO things.
Yep.
And the Bruins
Back when they were good.
And the Bruins are in it. And it's a young Brad Marchand, right?
Yep.
And he's showing his Hockey Canada tattoo.
Yes.
I remember the time going, because it was a World Junior. He got it at the World Juniors or whatever it was. And I'm like, fuck that guy. He's never,
Who are you?
You are not a Hockey Canada lifer. But that's what he is. He's that guy now.
Well, and this is it. I thought, to circle back, and if you have any other outlying opinions we should get to here, we certainly can. For me, Nick Suzuki has not been a Hockey Canada guy. And we talked about that last year when he didn't go to the Four Nations, and that was political as much as anything else, that he hadn't
him and Bedard.
Yeah. And then he didn't go to the Worlds either this year, which neither did Connor Bedard again. And all of a sudden, everyone looked up at Sid and Pals, and there's Max Celebrini hanging out with them. I just think Suzuki has done so much that you can't. You're going to look ridiculous. It was, to me, it had gotten to the same place where Celebrini was. Are we still talking about age? Because this kid is doing what we need him to. Nick Suzuki, since the Four Nations last year, and everything he's done to start this year, while Montreal's been up and down, he's been up. And I just don't have a situation anymore. I thought I would be looking at him as 4th line center or substitute to come in. And when I put my lines together, which is how I worked through this.
That's how I worked through it too. Yeah.
And he ends up at 3C. If I'm bringing those kids, and in place of one of the kids, like I said, I took Bedard out, just assuming the injury, I'll put Scheifele in. Neither one of those guys, Scheifele or Bedard, good enough defensively. I now elevate Suzuki in my lineup as a guy
Correct.
I trust. And
Who's on a point of games pace as well.
yes.
Responsible,
Right.
and point of game.
So yeah, and it was the same on the back end. Like when I'm talking about the Schaefer thing, do I assume Brady Tkachuk's going to blow him up at some point on a dump in? Like, yeah, that scares me a little. But such is life. I his body, for whatever we're talking about, Celebrini and Bedard and the age and how your body, like Schaefer is even behind those guys by a year and a half or whatever else. So that scares me a little bit. But for me, it was all about don't be so fucking scared. Like, stop being conservative about everything. We've looked at it at multiple different terms. And you and I, at the beginning of the show, waxed poetic about 2014 and how brilliant they were. But if the Americans score one goal in that semifinal to tie it up, all of a sudden we're in a fucking coin toss 4-on-4 in overtime. And we don't have Carey Price like we did then. So I wanted to be more aggressive and build my team with a little more fucking get up and go for it. And so, yeah, when Bedard I took out based on the injury, it was Scheifele. Again, I think Canada's small. He's big. He's not heavy hitting big, but he's big. And I kind of leaned on it that way.
No, and that's I'm with you on all that.
Yeah.
It only comes down to, like I said, it's a health thing.
Yep.
Whether it be Kemper,
Yep.
whether it
Yep.
be Hagel,
Yep.
and Bedard, right? Like those are the spot. Like you and
Maybe
I.
that's why Bennett and Hagel keep beating the piss out of each other. It's one less guy.
So
to contend
I need a spot.
If you were out of my way, that'd be great right
Get out
now.
of my way, bitch. So that's it. And in terms of, like, you and I had the big differences. There was some massaging.
Yeah.
But it was the bottom end, right? You had Marchand.
Always massage the bottom end.
Yeah, for sure, man. You had Marchand in the 13th spot.
Yep.
I had him on the 4th line wing.
Yep.
Right? It's just there's some nuance to it.
Sure.
But we'll see what Hockey Canada does versus what we put together.
Well, this
here.
is it. I still don't think there's any chance Hockey Canada is taking Matthew Schaefer. I would, but
Oh, I think they take him.
that's going to be fucking fascinating, man.
So for sure, like, why would you not? Again, learn the lessons of 06.
And all his numbers suggest you don't have to protect him. He's like, you don't want him in your top pair, but he can take a regular shift. He'll be fine. And like I said, put him with Parayko, somebody who can break up a pass. I'll hang back, right? I'll be your Ron Hainsey, or I'll be the Ron Hainsey to your Thomas Chabot, or to your Morgan Riley, or to your
Wherever Ron Hainsey,
Ron Hainsey goes.
They paid me $3 million. That's why I'm here.
I know where to stand, I believe,
Yes.
was the compliment given to Ron Hainsey.
Well,
so.
and if they don't take Schaefer, or if they do take Schaefer, does it come at the expense of Thomas Harley, who was the cause, the celeb of Four Nations?
I was surprised again that I left him off, but he wasn't selected to the Four Nations until someone got hurt. And even then, I remember us talking like, oh, so it was like Mackenzie Weegar on a beach already in the Barbados. Like, did you? Now, to be fair, Harley came in and played great in that tournament and then played great down the stretch with Heiskanen out.
But not great.
Not great this
up
year.
The stretch
not
either.
Great this year, man. I need you right now. And he hasn't. So I don't think he had put enough of a pin in the ground to say, or a stake in the ground. Like,
you had to come out guns blazing this year.
Yeah. And he didn't. And he's been better lately.
And
but
it's going to cost him.
Yep, I think it will too, man. I think that's where we can wrap this one up. The real Olympic team has been named here today, and you can all watch on New Year's Eve to whatever shamble they. I don't know. We've brought Rob Zamner out of retirement to announce the team.
Mike Pekka.
Do that, man.
Bring Mike Pekka and Rob Zamner.
Fucking right. Hey, you have to pick. It's not even going to be hard. I wish I hadn't even done this. You have to pick a senator to knock off someone on Team Canada. Obviously, it has to be a Canadian. It's Chabot, right?
I don't see anybody else who's pushing for a. Although I would put my dark horse selection at Drake Batherson.
He's had a better start to the because he's always sort of been on that. Maybe.
And
right?
I'm putting him up on the line with Sid and Nate McKinnon.
Neither one of us had John Tavares on the team. You said a while ago, there's no chance he's a leave. He sucks. I believe is how you phrased it. No, that's what you said.
All
I
right.
think exactly word
Sure,
for
man.
word.
That's-
Got off to a great start, trailed off, and he was always a long shot. I think for a month or so while he was sort of carrying the team, you went,
Look at that guy.
maybe. But his foot speed was always going to be a thing. His age was always going to be a thing. And he was going to need to keep up what he had done through October and early November, and he just didn't. And he faded. Like,
But we have included Marchand, Stone, off the top of my head, right? Those are two guys who
at age.
foot speed is
Yeah,
not their
no,
calling
that's right.
card either. So to completely rule out, now you sound like Joe Bowen when you're doing your imitation of me.
Of you.
Yeah, it sounds
Isn't
like
that
there was maybe
interesting?
a chicken breast in my mouth.
He won't be able to see.
I've never been so proud.
The recently honored
Yeah.
Joe Bowen.
And that's on TSN 1050. That's the clip they played.
I've never been so proud.
I've never been the small part we play in this
Yeah, I
team.
know that.
Never have I been so proud.
For new kids here on the show, we used that clip for a long time. And he's trying to say so proud, but it comes off a way, and it is what it is. But yeah, no, JT, he was going to have to be, like, honestly, once Nick Suzuki, like, that's sort of the spot, right? Like, can I take a great defensive zone or a Bo Horvat? And both of those guys, at this point, foot speed better. But that's the role Tavares would have been. Bottom six, take draws, maybe PP2 kind of thing. And both Horvat and Suzuki have.
Too bad the Olympics weren't in late in October. You know, that would be great.
Would have been great. Too bad they weren't in 2014. And they were, but
Yeah, no, it was
didn't
good.
pan out for
It was-
everybody.
It was good where that worked out.
Sorry, Charles Wong and John Tavares, and
Charles Wong.
owner of the Islanders at the
Yeah,
time.
that's weird.
He was displeased with how that went for his franchise.
Yeah, well, who cares? It's irrelevant.
Yeah, so Shabbat, probably Tavares.
Drake Batherson.
You're right, sorry. For me, it's Shabbat.
You weren't listening, so it's okay.
I was listening. I was just uninterested.
Discarding.
Yes. Shabbat.
It is different. You're right.
That's right. We'll wrap it up here. Still another show to come here in 2025.
Oh my God, can you believe the good stuff that's coming?
The Brew Marsh
Oh,
New Year's Eve.
all-star, a cavalcade of all-stars.
Chris Hoffley, Vanessa Sanchez, Michaela Schreider. We will debate the Canadian Athlete of the Year as determined by craft beer drinkers in the room. Or I can't speak for all craft beer drinkers, but
The ones that were in the room.
yeah, exactly. You'll rally behind us.
Rally.
For Rob, my name is Matt. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you have a fantastic what's left of your holiday season. A happy new year. All of that. We're on social media at Talkane Audio. Give us a follow there. Subscribe to the pod wherever you're hearing us right now. And we'll catch you on New Year's Eve.
See ya.
I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind. That made me look like a fool here. That's just dumb. I don't want anything to do with this place. This place is run by a bunch of children.